Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. No! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Palestine! 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 Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Ceasefire now! 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 Ceasefire now!
All right, everybody, make some noise for one last time before we do. Us collectively being here shows that we all care. It shows that despite we are far from Palestine, Palestine lives in our hearts. When the attacks of the 7th happened in October, the aftermath of Israel and Gaza worried me. It worried me a lot, and I was looking at my husband thinking, what is going to happen? Never did I ever see so much horrific images coming to our screens. I saw small children severely burned and injured. I saw legs broken with the bones sticking out. I saw a dad with the remains of his children in a plastic bag. I saw images of families buried under the concrete, only their feet sticking out of underneath the rubble. I saw young girls hanging upside down from a roof of a building. I saw small children's heads crushed. I saw mothers coming back to look for food, only to see that their family was killed. A few days ago, I saw children crushed again after the apartment building was targeted. I heard stories of people screaming to be saved, screaming of children. I hear children crying for their parents, being their only survivor of the family. I hear children begging, enough with the killing, stop this please. What did we do wrong? Little Hind that survived a shelling attack while she was waiting in the car, asking the medical department for help, only to be found killed after. I will never unhear these screams. These victims are only the ones that make it to our screens. There are so many untold stories. I could not look in the beginning, to be honest. I didn't look. What difference does it make if I look? What can I do? I'm just a mom. I live here on Sint Maarten, far away from where this is happening. But my good friend Fikri assured me, you know, Humera, it's a privilege to look away. Don't use that privilege. At least bear witness. So you can never say, I didn't see, it didn't happen. So, I looked. Yeah.
As well as my partner, Dr. Ramunda Hansa, who is also instrumental. Now, I want to ask a question, and it will almost come off as if I'm echoing the previous speakers. But I want to know, is the value of a Palestinian life any different than that of a Sint Maartener? No. I wasn't hearing you too good. Speak into my good ear, please. No. Is the value of a Palestinian life any different than someone from South America, Europe, Asia, or China? No. Then why do we continue to see the blatant hypocrisy exercised by the West? Many of you will recall that when the outbreak of the war between Russia and Ukraine, the whole world sided with them, correct? Yeah. As a matter of fact, an arrest warrant was issued for Putin, correct? Yeah. But we see now, openly, countries supporting genocide, and they look for every tactic in the media to try and convince you and I that this is a just cause. Don't they do that? Yeah. Don't they do that? Yeah. Brothers and sisters, I really love the turnout I'm seeing today. And if there is one message I would like to ask you to take back, is this. Be prepared for the pushback. Be prepared. Because seemingly there's a group who will use every resource to make sure that gatherings like this does not happen. There are persons right here who will use every resource to try and muzzle us from speaking up on behalf of the voiceless. Am I lying? No. Am I lying? No. The previous speakers talked about the role of Mandela and his position on Palestine. I can assure you, brothers and sisters, as a proud Pan-Africanist, the relationship between Pan-Africanists and Palestine goes a very long way. Yes. A very long way. For the simple fact that we are a colonized people. The degree of colonialism is different, but colonialism is colonialism. And there is no way to put it. Malcolm X once said, if you stab a man 9 inches in his back and you pull it out 6 inches, the liberals will call that progress. We still call it that we're in pain and we are suffering. Right? Be prepared for the pushback. They will use their religious doctrine. They might even come at us economically. They might come for every other form. But at this particular point, this fight and this struggle is a righteous one. Correct? Yes. Correct? Yes. If it was not a righteous one, you would not be here today. Or not? If it was not a righteous fight, you would not be here today. And we know that the prophets from long time always told us that good will always prevail over evil. So we must never become discouraged. We must never allow ourselves to become intimidated. Just be prepared for the pushback. I also want to bring this to your attention because many persons will ask you, again, why are you concerned with Palestine? Palestine is so far away. That has nothing to do with us. But when the war broke out, they placed sanctions on a Russian team who wanted to participate here in St. Martin, correct? Oh, you only see that press release? You only see that press release? Let me know, I can send it to you all, eh? So we were quick to jump on the side. Well, they was quick to jump on the side to stand up for Ukraine. But as the previous speaker said, the largest open-air prison, we look for every excuse in the book to justify the genocide of our brothers and sisters. Don't let anyone tell you that what you're doing is wrong. Don't let anyone try and use religious doctrine to justify what they are doing to the Palestinian people. We reject that. We refute that in the strongest terms as possible. I also hasten to say, yes, brothers and sisters, we all have a voice. We all have the ability to use our resources. We have the ability to use our influence with the intention of changing and mobilize public opinion. Had it not been for world mobilization, apartheid in South Africa would not have ended. Right or wrong? Persons from the Caribbean, persons from the Americas, persons from Europe, and all over the world lent their support to try and assist our brothers and sisters in South Africa. Right now we see the student protests, and their excitement is catching a fire across the globe. So don't tell me.
Well, after 7 months of trying to organize and request permission for demonstration, we've been finally able to gather enough people and also have the government give consent to this demonstration, whereby we also have the support of the local police force. Why do I mention this? Why is this important? It's because back in November we asked permission to have this demonstration, and the government denied it. They denied it. They said that they've spoken to people from the other side. They never said who the people of the other side were. And they said that they're afraid that we were going to cause violence. And of course, that was all nonsense. The government just pressured to the interest of big money on the island. And we continued and persisted to make sure that we had our democratic right to stand here in solidarity with the people of Palestine. And this is happening all over the world. Here in St. Martin we have Palestinians, we have Arabs, we have people from all walks of life. And here in this demonstration, if you look behind me, you'll see people from all walks of life who are indignant of what is going on in Palestine. We stand here against the genocide, we stand here against occupation, and we want to express our love and solidarity with the people of Palestine. This is what has come to fruition today. This is a very important day for St. Martin, because in St. Martin we're not used to demonstrations. And this time we've stood up and we're demonstrating peacefully, but also with a lot of energy, with a lot of love, with a lot of solidarity. And we hope that this moment will be a moment to let St. Martin know that, and the world know, that whenever people feel oppressed, they should have the right to stand up. Whenever they see something that makes them feel the way I felt when I see these dead babies being pulled out of the rubble, that they also should be able to stand up and say, this is wrong, this is wrong. And that is what we have today. And it was beautiful, it was peaceful. Again, we had people from all walks of life, we had children reading poems, and yeah, it was great. This is just a wonderful day.
So what's going to happen from today after this march today?
Well, St. Martin in solidarity with Palestine will continue to organize either reading circles or information circles. We'll keep ourselves informed, and if need be, we will also stand again and demonstrate, and the same way we did with apartheid South Africa, against apartheid South Africa. We stood, we demonstrated, we wrote poetry, we wrote songs, we expressed ourselves, and that is human, and that is what we should have the right to do.
For all of life's twists, turns, and defining moments, RBC is a blend for all of you. SZV, your social and health insurance is SZV, your social and health insurance.
Are you SZV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SZV is cardless. Request your My SZV account today and enter the virtual office of SZV. Go to szv.sx and sign up now.
SZV, yeah, your social and health insurance.
Well, I think it's been a lovely evening, the official launching of Expressions of an Optimistic Soul. I was very pleased to see the turnout, the audience that came out, and how much they enjoyed the evening's presentation. It was a different style to a book launch. What we did was we had expressions where we had different persons that came up and presented some of the projects that's in the book, and they actually brought some of the projects to life so that the audience could get a good indication of what they can expect from the book. So we were very pleased with the outcome. I want to thank all those that came out, those that presented, the overall coordinator, Valerie Brazier, and her team, and everyone that came out. And I look forward to folks purchasing the book. The book is just $29.99. It's available on Amazon, and locally they can get the book at Van Dorp Edin and at Adolphus Richardson As part of the Toastmasters organization, we have some of the best presenters here on St. Martin. So for me, pairing some of those presenters with some of the different expressions that are in the book and having them come out and bring it to life was very easy. As a matter of fact, there were so many of them that we could have selected, but we just selected a few of them, 5 of them, to do the presentations this evening. And all of them that presented, from Glendon Wilson to Kareem Rumbly and Annette Marlin, Emilia Connor Thomas, as well as Tamara Groeneveld. All of them did a fantastic job in bringing some of the expressions from the book to life. Of course, we have to thank the Judah Jubilee Company as well, who did the dramatic play of The Market Lady, which is also one of the expressions in the book. And then, of course, I have to thank my daughter Sasha for being so brave and going up and reading part of the expression that is addressed personally to her as well. So all in all, the presenters did a fantastic job, and we have to thank all of them for everything that they have done.
I know you mentioned in your opening that you want to write some more books. When that going to come out?
Well, I think I'm going to give this one some time to really measure, the response from the public, how they appreciate the writing and how I put my thoughts on paper. I do have another manuscript that's about 80% complete, so I'll be continue working on that with the intention to bring that out. And then, of course, yes, they can expect more work from me in the near future. They say once you've started, you've broken the ice, and then it usually becomes much easier after that because of the overall experience with book publishing. So I'm very pleased to now be officially called an author, and looking forward to folks purchasing the book, reading the book, and providing their comments and feedback in terms of how they like this first book, Expressions of an Optimistic Soul.
As we're doing this interview with you here now, how did you get into this? Because I know you do other different things, but I didn't expect you to be writing a book. What prompted you to do that?
Well, it's for a while I've been contemplating writing a book, but of course sometimes, Ricardo, depending on the time, your schedule, the different things that you're doing, it sometimes can prove, a little harder than you would want it to. But I had done a lot of traveling, and during my travels, I spent a lot of time in hotel rooms and stuck at the airports. And during that period, instead of getting frustrated, I did a lot of writing. So I had the material. It was just a matter of how to put the material together in one comprehensive book. And then finally, a year before last, I decided, no, it's about time that I do this. And it took me about 9 months having the book, the manuscript sitting there before I decided, no, now I want to have this manuscript published officially in a book and have it brought out. So I've been writing for quite a while, quite a bit of years, but I said no, in 2024, for sure I have to have at least my first book out, and I'm very pleased that I was able to do that this evening, pleased with the turnout, and of course the support that I've received so far, and looking forward to more folks getting the book, reading the book, and of course spreading the good word of the book, Expressions of an Optimistic Soul.
But at this time, as we wind down, before we close off and say good evening, I know that you have a special presentation that you want to present this evening as you present the first copy of your book. So I am going to allow you at this time to make that presentation.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to call on the stage a very special person in my life. One is already up on the stage. This is another one I'm going to call up on the stage. This is another very special person in my life. Please help me welcome my daughter, Sasha. And believe it or not, Sasha actually had something published in a book before me. When she was in elementary school, she wrote a very nice piece and it was published in a book. So she was one of my inspirations for getting my own book published as well. And this evening I'd like to present Sasha with the very first copy of Expressions of an Optimistic Soul. The final expression in this book is entitled Open Letter to My Daughter, Sasha Magenta Tobias. And in that expression, I'm offering her some words of advice. She mightn't take it now, but put it in writing. I'm sure there'll come a time when she would want to go back to it and read it. So at this time, Sasha's going to just read a little piece
for you. She said, Daddy, this thing is long now. To be a bit that long. So we agreed she'd just read a little piece of the open letter to my daughter, Sasha Magenta Tobias. Sasha, all yours.
Good evening. Okay. Open letter to my daughter, Sasha Magenta Tobias. Dear Sasha, there are so many things I wish to teach you. As you grow into a lovely young lady, I am very proud of all you have achieved so far and all you have yet to accomplish. As you go through life, you will realize that life is not always easy. Life is not always fair, and sometimes this world is not as wonderful as you have been told. Regardless of what you go through, I wish to share with you some words of advice and wisdom to always remind you that despite everything, this is still a wonderful world. Blossom where you are planted. Life will not always be fair, and at times you will find yourself in places, positions, or predicaments that you did not want or did not ask for. Understand the importance of blossoming wherever you are planted. Always do your best, no matter the situation you are put in or find yourself in. Look around you and see how plants, flowers, and trees grow through the cracks of concrete. Although the concrete could keep them from growing, through perseverance, determination, and sheer will, the plant, flower, or tree pushes through to blossom where it is planted. You can do the same. Don't let anything or anyone stop you from blossoming. Your rights come with great responsibility. Be aware that you always have fundamental rights which are provided to assure the basic needs of survival, security, and belonging. However, along with these rights must come the responsibility from you to ensure that exercising your rights does not infringe on the rights of others or do not interfere with the common good and general interest. Always give yourself a second chance. Life is filled with challenges and you will not win them all. As a matter of fact, be prepared to lose many battles. But understand that in losing, there are many lessons that you can win. Don't always expect people to give you a second chance, but you must be willing to always give yourself that second chance. Let your last mistake be your best teacher, and you will realize that you will want to practice self-improvement and give yourself a second chance to do better the next time around. Wisdom will teach you to learn from the mistakes that others make because you will not live long enough to make enough of your own mistakes from which to learn. Giving yourself a second chance is a great way to becoming the best version of yourself. I hope the advice in this open letter will serve to help you grow, develop, while you journey on that path to becoming the very best that you can be. May you always prosper and remember that whatever you become in this world is up to you. Go out, take your rightful place, and make a difference in this world. You have the power within you to make this your best life and prove that no matter what people may say, this is still a wonderful world. Sign with love, your father, Rolando.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXV, yeah. Your social health insurances. of life's twists, turns, and defining moments, RBC is open for all of you.
The launch of our foster care month. As a foster care coordinator, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome each and every one of you to this significant event today. We gather today to launch our Foster Care Awareness Month campaign under the inspiring theme Enhancing Equity in Foster Care and guided by our powerful slogan, Be the Village, Fostering the Child. This month we celebrate with courage and resilience to foster children who navigate through life challenges with extraordinary strength. We also extend our deepest gratitude to our foster parents, mentors, and volunteers, and leaders of the various governmental departments who tirelessly ensure that these children have the nurturing home they deserve. We thank you on behalf of all of the foster children across the nation. On St. Martin, we recognize that it takes a community, a village, to raise a child. Our focus on equity means that every child, regardless of their circumstances, should have access to the same support, love, and opportunities to strive and succeed. Be the village, foster a child is not just a call to action. It's a reminder of our role, the role each one of us plays in nurturing the potential of every child in our care. As a nation, as a village, we have a duty to empower each child so that they can have the same sense of promise and possibilities as any other young person, no matter what the circumstances might be. Let's embrace the spirit that every child matters. Let's continue to provide all of our children with an equal chance to lead productive and fulfilling lives. As we embark on this journey, let's recognize that we all can play a vital part in enhancing equity in foster care. Some of us are called to foster. Some of us are called to support. Some of us are called to care. And some of us are called to donate. Whatever you are called for, be that village and foster a child. There is an urgent call to recruit foster families and mentors on St. Martin. We are called on our community, our village, to help change the course of a generation and help make a difference in the life of our foster child. I encourage each and every one of you here to engage fully with all our initiatives. Your involvement is key to driving changes and fostering an environment where every child can strive. Together, we can enhance equity in our foster care system and ensure that no child is left behind. As we proceed with today's celebration, let us each consider how we can contribute to this mission. How can we as a community be the village that fosters not just the child, but the future of our foster care community on security? Our hope is that you enjoy the rest of the program and may it inspire you to join us in our mission. Let's make Foster Care Awareness Month a transformative time for our community and for every child who is part of the village.